Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Hirsch's Home Stores. And as you know, on a regular basis, we have activities such as this, where we get to interact with our clients, we get to demonstrate the products that we sell at our branches, and which is at really affordable prices, and something that you can also learn before you purchase. And what we have in store is our cooking demo, which is by the lovely Ramola from Elba, a renowned brand, an Italian brand. Ramola has been in the business for years. She's been very closely associated with the Hirsches, Margaret Hirsch and Alan Hirsch. She's been traveling the country recently, doing these demos, giving an indication of what these products entails. So without any further ado, she deserves no introduction. She literally has her own cookbook. She's been in the media, she's been on television, and we're so proud for her to now be part of the Hirsch family to do such demonstrations countrywide. Welcome to Hirsch's, Ramola.
Thank you, Denver. Now it's Martin, and today we've got Sharda, and Sharda is, I would say, a spice connoisseur, because when you look at spices, and I think spices has got a bad name where everybody think that, especially Indian cooking, is curry powder, or I hear people say, no, just add some curry powder. Curry powder is not Indian cooking. It's an invention by somebody that was just lazy. And today Sharda is going to introduce you to the world of spices. You have the most amazing spices, and I must admit, over the years, we've actually become quite like habit forming. Use this, use this, use this, and then we got your basic 4 or 5 spices, and that's how we're all cooking. And now all of a sudden, we are introducing you to a whole new world where you can mix and match. And it's amazing that when you do mix and match different spices, because every spice has got a different flavor depending on what ingredient you're going to mix it with. Are you going to saute it first, or are you going to add it to raw food? That's where the flavors change. And that's the secret now, which is no more a secret, which we are going to introduce, and which I'm going to unfold as I do my Dems countrywide, where we're going to be using whole spices, ground spices, all kinds of spices, things that you've never thought of. That's what we're going to do. So I can assure you of, this is going to be an interesting morning. Sharda is a wealth of knowledge, and we're going to keep talking and ask questions. Don't fall asleep. And she's doing 2 nice easy dishes, and then you're going to be serving and you're going to taste. So without any more, I'm going to introduce you to Sharda.
Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure for me to be here today with Elba and Hirsch. Thank you for affording me this opportunity, and I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy my food. My company is called Shah Spices. So I'm going to cook and you're going to enjoy. Any questions, you're welcome to ask me. So let's begin. We are now firstly going to do the sugar beans curry. Right? We're going to add some ghee. You could use veg oil, olive oil. It depends on you. I love cooking with homemade butter ghee.
Are you going to use the full quantity?
Yes. Let's melt it.
Okay, Sharda's just melting the ghee.
Okay. While we are doing that, let me blend my spices. I've got Shah Special, which I'm going to be using. 1, 2. It's because of the quantity of beans. I'm cooking a little extra so you guys can enjoy. Okay. Some paprika. Just a little bit of garam masala. Some turmeric. For acid buildup, I'm going to use a pinch of hing.
Asafoetida.
Okay.
And are you putting that into the hot ghee?
Yes.
Asafoetida to become active must always be put into hot ghee or hot oil. If you're just going to add it like that, it doesn't work. It must bubble up and is put into hot ghee. We got ghee or oil, any hot medium. So that becomes active, and it's actually very, in fact, you must use it for lentils because then you don't have the acid build up. You know, when people say I have acid reflux or
Yes.
whatever, the asafoetida is the secret.
You feel for the temperature, it's a good temperature. Now you add I'm adding cinnamon sticks, a few bay leaves, anise seeds, normally we call them bardia, and alcha, black cardamom. I'm going to add that.
How many are you adding?
I've added 2.
2 black cardamom.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, can we increase the heat?
Right. Just increase the heat for me for this. Or I think put this fast burner on. Start it in the middle. Have you pressed it in? Depressed it? Okay, just increase this heat. Increase this heat. Oh no. Make it as high as you can. Right, this is fine.
Yes.
So now what you're going to do, Sharda, now you're going to, once
I'm
that's done,
just going to leave that
sizzle
in for a
this.
few seconds. Then I will add my onion. So let it heat up and we'll do that.
it's starting to sizzle already.
Yes.
Okay. And then are you going to saute the onion?
Yes, I will now add my onion.
And how much onion have you got there?
I've got 2 onions here.
2 onions, which
but
is
I'm
chopped up.
cooking 2 different curries, so I'm just going to use part of it.
Okay.
So I just use 2 handfuls.
So there, this is beginning to sizzle. Now talking about cardamom, you saw that she put in black cardamom. Does anybody know how many kinds of cardamom one gets? Take a guess. Sorry. So okay, what are the 3? Perfect. Now between the white and the green, which is more stronger? Right, between your cardamoms, you find that when you, and why I'm sharing this, Sharda sells all these spices, and I promise you, you get spices and you get spices. Quality is very important. Now whenever you're buying cardamom, try and buy the green one, because the white one is bleached.
Yes.
Right? So always try, because when you are buying the cardamom and you got the green one, you can use the outer pit or the skin and the seeds inside. When you are doing the white one, you can only use the pit. You can't use the skin because it's got no flavor, it's like wood. In the black cardamom comes from the inside, it's the inside seed. And it's absolutely pungent. It's got a different flavor to the white and the green. So you can see what she's done here. It's still got the bark and everything on. The black cardamom has to go through a special process. It's just not picked, it's left on the tree until the seeds start blooming and it's in a pod. That pod is taken out and they don't take the seeds out of the pod. It's kept in the pod, and that's what Sharda is doing now. And you find that you find the black cardamom more expensive. You don't find it readily, but when you do find it, buy it because you don't need a whole lot of it. So that's your cardamom story.
Because normally when my cardamom, the black cardamom arrives, my stock arrives, they always have their tiny piece of their stem attached to it. So that's how you can keep it for very long.
Yeah, black cardamom you can keep at least on the shelf for 2-3 years.
Yes.
If you put it in your fridge or freezer, it will last for forever. Now when it comes out of the fridge or the okay, you need to talk?
Yes. Now I will be putting in my ginger and garlic paste. This
Have
is
you mixed
fresh-
that together?
Yes.
Okay.
This I've made at home. I don't use anything that, I like to use everything
You can
fresh.
see it's all homemade. You can hear the sizzle. And you'll find that you cook very quickly on gas. The Elba gas stoves, we specialize in gas. We specialize in cookware, so you'll find that our gas stoves work beautifully. The unit that I'm working on is called the Elba range. It's the top of our range. It's got 2 electric plates if you want it. That's it. That's when Eskom will allow you to use it.
I will throw in a few
Curry leaves.
curry leaves. I normally crush them and then I do that.
Yeah, when you crush it, you can actually get the aroma coming out. And curry leaves does add a special flavor. You know, even if you're cooking a Western dish, say if you're making roast chicken or you're just doing chicken with no spices, say with some parsley and lemon herb and salt and that, if you add just a few curry leaves, because curry leaves has got a lemony flavor. When you add a few curry leaves, you will not believe how it elevates the flavors of that dish. It's just amazing. Curry leaves are amazing, and if you can actually have a little curry leaf tree in your garden, it's magic. So now you're going to add the 3 masalas.
Yes.
So these are all powdered.
Yes.
Now what is different about your Shah masala? You said Shah masala.
Okay.
What did you put in there?
In my Shah masala, I have green cardamom ground, I have clove powder, and mustard seeds, fenugreek seeds. I've mixed all of that. I only use Rajapuri turmeric, which comes from Rajasthan. And it's very important, your turmeric has to be the perfect color. You get all types of turmeric, but I love the Rajapuri, right?
So you can see now this, she's just making like, is it sugar beans?
Yes.
She's just making plain sugar beans, but the kind of spices that she's using. And when I asked her about Shah spice, what is in it, you can see her combination of what she's done. So when you taste this, I want you to taste it separately because you'll find that the flavor will be totally different. And flavor only comes from spicing, from nowhere else. When you go to a restaurant, I can tell you when they just use the normal curry powder, wherever they picked it up from, because it's got that curry powder flavor. Here you're going to get a very, very nice flavor. She's going to cook this for a few minutes. Working on gas, it cooks very, very quickly. And what is nice is that when she's done the beans, now you're going to add the tomatoes.
Now I'll add some tomato.
Everything is nicely cut up and chopped.
I'll mix that.
Well, while that's cooking, I can turn it away and we can start the chicken.
Yes.
Okay?
I'm going to drop in my potatoes.
Oh, these are raw or cooked?
They half cooked.
Oh, she's half cooked the potatoes. I always like to half cook potatoes. One tip that I give you, and no matter what kind of potato you have, she's got lovely soft cooking. I just pop them in the microwave. Like one potato takes 2 minutes. If you've got 6 potatoes, not going to take you 12 minutes. 6 potatoes will take you like 6 to 8 minutes, depending on the size. And when you half cook your potatoes, you save a lot of time. Never mind time, you save a lot of time on gas and electricity.
I'm now going to add my salt.
Oh, you're just adding your salt. You can see how she's adding it. And you're using coarse
I'm
salt?
using coarse salt.
Do you find that better than
I love cooking with coarse salt.
with coarse salt? Any
Yeah.
reason why?
The flavor is
Yes,
beautiful.
it does make a difference on the flavor
Yes.
when you use coarse salt. And nowadays you get nowadays we've got so many different salts available.
Yes, we've
That
got
is quite
the Himalayan
mind-boggling.
salt, we've got the black salt.
Have you got all those salts?
Yes, I do.
Shada's got all her spices on display there. You more than after the dim, you are more than welcome to look at it,
I'm
feel
gonna
it.
drop a little bit of water.
About a cup of water?
Yes.
Yeah. She's added a cup of water and you can hear it sizzling nicely. So we're going to turn it this side and then we're going to
Yes.
cook it. Okay? Avish, I just need you to switch this on for me.
The spoon
Yeah.
is for the veg, right?
We will keep the spoons separate because of veg and non-veg. That's perfect. Make it, yeah, that's perfect, perfect. You can see how nice the flame burns on the Elba stove. And I can turn this right down to a simmer. I have full control over the stove. The stove is not going to control me. That's what I like about the Elba stove. So we're going to leave this. I'll watch it. I'll ask Avish to turn it down if I need it. I'm going to keep the lid on. Now we've got the next dish, which is a chicken dish. We will keep the spoons separate if anybody's vegetarian. So you don't need to have a problem with that. Any questions, people?
Questions? Okay. I'm going to put I'm using my butter ghee again. Because I'm using chicken breast. So you want it to be succulent. You don't want it to be hard and dry. So therefore I like using butter ghee. You can use oil if you like. I'm cooking a little extra, so don't be shocked at the amount I'm putting in, okay? Let's blend here.
What are you going to blend this for the chicken now?
Chicken
Okay, she's
curry.
going to blend the spices for the chicken now. She's got her chicken breast ready. I think she just added some lemon juice. She hasn't added any spices to it.
Now this is my chicken curry masala. I'm going to use this.
Now, talking about your chicken curry masala, what have you put in the chicken curry masala?
In my chicken curry masala, I don't know if you all know about birth masala.
Yes.
I have that added in here.
Indians if
Dhania
you're
and
Indian,
jeera.
you know about birth
Yes,
masala.
dhania
For the
and
non-Indians, we'll explain that to you what birth masala is. And you do make your own birth masala?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I only make it on request because you cannot make it and keep it for a long time. So when I have an order, I will make it fresh and it gets
Actually used to find that the older people or the grandmothers used to, like when you're going to have, if you're pregnant and you have your confinement, Indians believed in actually just bringing optimum health for the mother, for the baby. It produces more milk. It just gets the mother back to normal, because remember, to have a baby, it's quite a process.
Some turmeric.
And a lot of people don't believe, no, what's that? But I think there is
Dhania,
some
jeera.
sense into it, because as you read about things and you see what people have done, there's always wisdom in old knowledge. I believe in that. I'm going to come back to Sharda. Just tell me, what all did you add for your chicken?
I've added some of the chicken curry masala.
Yeah, which we're going to talk about. Then you've added some birth masala.
Yes. And I put some dhania and jeera powder.
Okay, that's a combination of coriander
Right.
and cumin.
And I've added a little bit of Kashmiri chili powder.
Oh, that's the best.
Right? And I'm going to add just a little bit of paprika. Right. I'm all done there. My oil is now ready.
I'm watching. This is cooking up nicely.
Okay, just stir for me, please.
Now I'll stir for you. I'll just check the potatoes.
I'm
Oh, no,
adding
I need
my
more water
whole
here.
spices.
What are your whole spices?
I'm using
Star
badia,
aniseed.
green
Yeah, she says
ilachi,
badia. It's star aniseed.
green ilachi. I've got my bay leaves and my cinnamon.
Okay.
I'm just going to add in some curry,
Curry
leaves.
leaves. Famous curry leaves.
I love curry leaf when I start cooking, and I love it
I think
when I
curry leaves
finish
is
off
fantastic.
cooking. Yes.
I need some more. Sorry, I need some
More water.
More water. Yes. Potatoes are. I'm just going to add a little bit of water here because the
Return
potatoes
the
are not
peas.
properly cooked. And as soon as the demo is done, Crystal, our PRO for Hirsch's, will post all the recipes to you. So you got the recipe. So you got it there, and then you can go home and cook. It's fine.
You stirred it. Eh?
Yeah, I've stirred it. It's fine. The potatoes are still hard.
I'm going to add my onion.
Okay, as soon as the spices start to sizzle,
It's sizzling.
she's going to add the
I'm
onion.
going to put all this
the onion
onion
in.
because I've got quite a bit of chicken.
She's adding the peas now. You can see how she's browned the chicken nicely. So now she's adding her peas. Again with her wonderful hands.
You cook with love, always.
Oh, she's cooking with love, definitely. I'll cook with a spoon. Any questions, guys? Say that in gluten? Yes, yes. All spices can be used in gluten-free cooking. There's no problem. No, that depends where you buy your spices. Yeah, okay, now you need, they add a thickener in it. You got no thickeners in your
No,
spices.
there's
You
no
see, now you must go back to Woolworths.
preservatives in my spices.
No, but they're adding it as a thickening agent. They will.
Yes.
That's why now it's important to look at labels. Look at your labels if you're really gluten free and you're kosher on that. No, then look at Sharda Spices. She's got no thickening agent. And the only thickening agent they will have, look on the back of it, maybe corn flour.
Yes, you be careful of sometimes just to give volume,
bulk.
For them to sell bulk, they add maizena into it,
Maizena is corn flour.
corn flour.
Now
Yes.
I'm going to tell you a very, very nice story again. I've been cooking like for 40 years now. This is fine.
I'm just going to check it out.
The potatoes not cooked yet.
It's almost done.
Is it almost done?
It's not going to be done.
Do you want me to turn it off and just
No,
leave
no,
it?
leave it.
Wait, let me just check that potato for you.
I
I'm
think
very.
it's almost done.
Oh yeah, you're right. You are a master cook because I need this side to do the naan. Something that stuck in my mind for years and years and years. In the early days when we started cook, I mean, it was like a novel. That's when I worked with Panasonic with the microwaves. And I remember this lady. Then obviously spices, and you spoke about all that. And I think I was talking about garam masala and coriander and cumin powder. And this lady was in the audience and she said her brother-in-law in Johannesburg has got a spice factory. And in those years it was like novel. You never had the spice factory. There were only one or two companies that brought out spices like Spice Emporium and somebody else. The others never existed. I'm going back like 30 years. And I said, oh, that's interesting. And I said, where do your brother-in-law get the spices from? And then she gave me all the details and she says, oh, you know, to bulk up garam masala and cumin and coriander powder, they take, you know, the nuts, you know, the peanuts, the shell. They grind that to add as bulk because it's
Yes.
brown.
It's true. That's
Right.
very
That's why I remember the story when you said they add a thickening agent. With Woolworths, it's kosher. They will add maizena or corn flour. They will as a thickening agent. But if you like really, really gluten free and you don't want to use anything like that, then I would say look at Shah Spices because they've got no thickening agent. You see, when you come to these dams, you pick up a lot of things. So it's important now, especially. It's very, very important where you buy your food from, where you buy your spices from. Please take a little bit of extra time, read the labels. I mean, they've got all these so-called chemical names, EZ42. What is EZ42? Please, I don't know what's that. Those are all chemicals. When you can't, when they give you those combinations, put it down, it's a chemical. But if they just tell you red chili, salt, sugar, cumin seeds, I'd buy it. Because there's no adulteration, there's nothing chemical in it. And I think it starts from your cooking of what you're going to add into your food. And we as mothers or cooks, or if you're you're responsible for the health of your family, I always feel all disease starts from nutrition, starts from the pot.
I'd also like to make known to you guys that I started off from home. It's a home industry. And it gradually built up. People
built it
ate
up.
my food and they loved it, and then it started going along the coast. I live on the north coast, and then Belito became the hub of it, and then it gradually expanded. It goes online, Cape Town, wherever you are. I can send it to you.
I must say she's growing her range. She
Yeah.
gets spices from all over the world. Just tell us exactly where some of the spices come from.
Okay, like the Kashmiri masala, don't be fooled. It's not from South Africa. It comes from India.
Nothing comes from South Africa. None of the spices
None
come
of
from
the
South
spices.
Africa.
You get people here that have the import-export license. They buy it and they tell you that it is South African.
No.
It's not.
I know on all my travels and tours, I travel a lot, I will always go to a spice farm and a spice factory because that's I like to do that because then I know exactly what's happening. and you'll be amazed. And they do have tours.
Excuse me.
Sorry?
Just 1 second. Normally when I cook, I like putting a little bit of coriander leaves while it's cooking. You get a better blend.
It does make a big difference to your flavoring.
And then I garnish
Again.
later again.
So your chicken curry is going to really have good flavor. And I love the color here. You can see as it's cooking, the color is developing. And yet this wasn't marinated. The color is absolutely, and the aroma is fantastic. Making you hungry, that's a good idea. She's got so much food here, it's luck. We'll be serving lunch.
Just throw them. You don't buy a lot. You must
Don't
never
buy a lot of
buy
spices.
You buy for your normal consumption.
I think 250 grams is enough.
Is enough. If you need again, you go. If you want a kilo too, you
Because
can buy
remember
a kilo,
it's,
but keep it in a cool, dry
I
place.
keep it in my freezer.
Yes, you can.
I keep it in my freezer
Yes.
because there's no sell-by date there. And then when I want to use it, so even my peppercorns, my cardamom, all those expensive
All my
spices.
lentils are also kept
Kept in the
away in
freezer.
the freezer.
When you're buying your spices, take it out and put it into a container, whatever container you have. Like I've got a masala dabba, which we call,
Yes.
right, for your spices. It's got about 9, right, with different spices. I just empty it in there, and then the rest that's left over, I just seal it and I put it in my freezer. And I don't buy a big quantity of spices. And if I do, it goes into the freezer. Now when you want to use it again, it's come out of the freezer, get it up to room temperature. You can either, if it's whole spices, put it onto your plate or a griddle or a pan and just freshen it up, that the aroma comes out. On a slow heat, don't burn it. Otherwise, if I've got ground, say I've got garam masala or cumin and coriander powder, I just take the little bit in a glass bowl, in the microwave, 30 seconds swirl, another 30 seconds, give it a stir, you get the aroma coming out and you're ready to go. So you don't need to waste anything. In Durban, I always feel you need an extra fridge or a freezer for your spices and your lentils because of the climate, the humidity. I promise you, and you get such fabulous freezers and fridges.
Cayenne pepper.
That is money well spent.
Give me one.
I remember when I got married in Cape and you buy a quantity of flour, and I got married in February, and like a month later when I opened up and coming from Cape Town, it's cold. We never ever have weevils and all that.
That's
And I saw these black things in the flour. I didn't, you know, when you're young, you're stupid. I didn't.
One's from there.
You totally goof. I'm thinking, what are these black things in the thing? And then I phoned my mother and I said, you know what, I want to make some roti and there's all black stuff in the flour. She says, oh no, you can't use that. I said, can't I sift it out? She says, no. Throw it away or take it to the shop. Me, that's a businesswoman, I took it back to Pick and Pay because I bought it there. And I said, you know what, I'm sorry, but this thing has gone off. And they very gladly just, and then I realized, don't buy a big quantity of flour if I'm not using it, or start putting it in the fridge. Because we never come in from Cape Town, nothing goes off, it's cold. Here you put everything in the fridge. Now you can see I've put a griddle on. This is an Elba griddle. That when you buy the excellent stove, you get the griddle and the wok stand. Let me just take this wok stand. Wok stands are fabulous. I'll put it on there where you can actually do slow cooking. If you want to do deep fat frying, you need to do stir fries or whatever. Your wok stand works fabulously. And this comes with the excellence. Otherwise, you can buy it as a separate accessory, sold in all the Hirsch stores. And I love this griddle because you can do so much on it. I can grill on it. I can pork cook. I can do my vegetables. You can do whatever. What I've done is, which is not part of the recipes today, but we're going to give you the recipe. I'm going to share my naan recipe. But I've actually half cooked the naan from home. And this is the most fabulous recipe. And Crystal will put the recipe up. This naan, I can leave this. Now if you're gluten free, you can use coconut flour, combination of almond flour, okay, and you'll have the most fabulous naan. Right. This I've half cooked. I can leave this in the fridge for 5-6 days. Nothing goes wrong with it. I half cooked it. I made the dough yesterday. And I've made them small size, so we're not going to cut them. We're going to be generous. Each one's going to get one piece. So I've made like 30. So it's fine, so the Hirsch staff can enjoy it. I'm just going to finish cook this on my griddle, pop it over, and then you can either brush it with garlic butter or ghee, whatever you want to, and serve it. And that's our naan bread. And this is so nice to have in your fridge. Out of 4 cups, this is 2 cups here, I've got 30 naan. Out of 4 cups, I'll get 60. So it's very economical. The lady with the gluten, just use 2 cups, or even if it's only for yourself, half a cup and half a cup, because those flours are expensive.
Salad.
If you're using half a cup and half a cup, and you do them thin, I've done them quite thin, because you don't want to eat a big thick naan. I mean, nowadays we all, sometimes in the restaurant they give you that big thick chunky naan, and I think this is so gross. I don't want this. Because we're all now diet conscious and health conscious, and I think more health conscious. That's more important. So you do want to have a nice naan, but you don't want a big thick thing. And then it overpowers the flavor of your curry and all that. So here's my naan. You can turn it, you can see. Look how quickly this is turning. Look how quickly this is browning. So you can see, and this is rising again. Oh, this is hot. Avesh, won't you turn the flame down for me? You can see how hot this has gone already. Now try and turn you can see now this is cooking up nicely. I'm going to take this off, and then we will brush it with ghee just before you come and eat. And you can see it's still soft. It's not going to be hard. The proof is going to be in the tasting. So I'm going to share my naan recipe with you. After this, I don't think you're going to make roti, because these are so easy and quick, and they really, really work nicely. Any other questions? What were we talking about when we jump around? I like to jump around when I'm cooking and talking.
Base for you?
Eye-level ovens as well.
Yes, we've got, this is the Elba range, and Avesh, come here please. Avesh, in every Hirsch store, Elba has a dedicated, come here. I'm introducing you to all these women. Avesh is not married yet, and I promise you he'll make a good husband, because he knows how to turn on the stove, which makes a very big difference. Avesh, in every Hirsch store, Elba has a dedicated ambassador, properly trained by us from head office. You find that our guys are all kosher, they properly trained, they speak beautiful English. The most important thing is that they are trained on all our products. Sometimes they know more than me, right? So if you're coming into the Hirsch store, always look for the Elba ambassador. He will give you the correct information on what you need to buy. When you look at those are all the hobs around you, all the freestanding stoves. Then you've got all the extractors, and Avesh is the man to come to. So Avesh is the guy.
Would you like me to grease them?
Yeah, if you want to. Put it over here. You can see this is your naan. You can see how nice it looks with ghee. All done. Okay. And this you're all going to taste. So that was the naan. As I said, I promised you the recipe. We'll give you the recipe. Any other questions? Is this chicken done?
The chicken is now done. I'm going to garnish.
Gosh, we're on time. I don't demonstrate more than 45 minutes to an hour. After that, it's a no. And now she's going to do her salad. Then she's done a garnish. Let me lift this up. Okay, you can see how lovely the chicken looks. The aroma is beautiful. I'm getting a combination of coriander and curry leaves and all the different spices. Right? This is your sugar bean and potato curry. You can see how nice this is.
I always put some curry leaf after when I cook.
Oh yeah, I also
sugar.
do. Take fresh curry leaves. You can actually get the aroma. Right, so we've come to the end of our cooking dim. Thank you so much.
Blend show you how to use my cayenne pepper on
Oh
the
yes, she's still
salad.
got a salad. Once she's done the salad, then we are going to dish out and everybody's going to taste. Just tell us if you're vegetarian or
The
non-vegetarian.
vegetarian spoon
And then
is
we'll
here.
keep, well, the spoons have been separate, but then we will, let's put that on. Before we end off, the procedure is we will dish and serve you. Then you're more than welcome to look. Oh, and we've got a lucky draw, a hamper of spices.
Okay, let me come on that side. Let me come on that side.
Yes, you can close off. Oh, no, she's still got a salad to do. Do it over here. Sharda's made a very, very nice, easy salad. What did you put in here, Sharda?
I've got red onions, white onions, tomatoes, some jalapenos, and cucumbers. Some
Oh, that's a
spring
nice, healthy
onion
salad.
And a little bit of dhania.
Oh, she loves her coriander.
I love my coriander.
Now
Well, you-
coriander, because it was so hot, it was 15 rands a bunch.
Well, I have it in the garden.
This is the first time we've seen them putting coriander in salads.
You haven't tried it before. You will taste it
I
now.
told you now, cooking is very flexible. When you come to our cooking dems, I can assure you, we are going to give you lots of different ideas.
Thank you once again, and we'd like to take this opportunity on behalf of the Hirsch's Home Stores in South Africa in wishing all our Muslim clients a blessed Ramadan. On behalf of the Hirsch family, we'd like to extend our warmest welcome and inviting you into our stores and also giving you a demonstration of what we have, the best of the extraordinary products that we sell at Hirsch's.